This isn't a beer video. Good morning, peeps. It's the Drunken One, and happy Homebrew Wednesday, I might add. I am gonna work the dehydrator today a little bit, and maybe we'll do a Homebrew Wednesday beer type issue a little bit later. Let me show you what I got going over here. Alright, so I got the old dehydrator. If I can see what you're seeing. These are always the toughest ones to cut. It's a open country brand, not that it makes a difference, but it's a little dehydrator you can pick up from your local sporting goods place. These are ones I started yesterday. They look like little dried worms. These are jalapenos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the jalapeno jar, properly marked Japs. Take no offense if you're Japanese. And so, give me just a second. Let me get them stuck in there, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, I'm back. And so we got quite a few Japs in there. A whole slew of them, huh? So what I do with that is I run them through the handy dandy coffee grinder. I was just grinding yesterday, that's why it's still dirty. And I'm not going to bore you with that whole process. You just stick a few in there, and if it doesn't, it'll start and it'll spin and it'll crush them up or grind them up. But sometimes you gotta like shake it because the long pieces won't get down in there like they should. So when you do that, it ends up turning out like this. This is what I use for my beef jerky. Hope y'all can see that. The sun's kind of in a weird spot. It's early morning. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. So I've done that with the jalapenos. I've done that with onion, because I dry my own onion. This stuff here gets really sticky for some reason. I guess it's the oil in there. But I also do it with cilantro. I haven't crushed this yet or ground it yet, but I do that with cilantro and ancho peppers. Oh, I don't know if y'all have anchos where you live. These are red, smoky peppers. They don't have any heat to them really, but they have a lot of smoke flavored. So what I've done is I put together a recipe of 7 tablespoons of the ancho, 3 tablespoons of the ground jalapeno. I was able to find some red jalapenos, and they're not so easy to find. The red ones are the ripe ones, and they're a little different flavor and a lot sweeter. So there is a tablespoon of that in there. There's a half a teaspoon of garlic and pepper. Right. I don't know if you've used cumin before, but cumin is a good southwestern flavor. And there is 1 teaspoon of that in there. 1 teaspoon of normal table salt, a half a teaspoon of pepper, and 2 tablespoons of onion. And the most important thing, like we've talked about before, is the curing salts. That keeps it from, if it lasts long enough that it doesn't get eaten right away, then you'll want to use this for sure. This helps it from getting icky. This helps the curing. It doesn't take much. This is enough for 100 pounds worth of product, so it lasts a long time. For a 3-pound batch, it's about 3/4 of a teaspoon, so it doesn't really take much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear this stuff away, and I'm gonna load the dehydrator. Not like it's really exciting, but I'm gonna load the dehydrator with the meat that I started yesterday, because I ground some peppers yesterday, and then I went ahead and marinated the meat with that recipe I just told you, and I'm gonna start the jerky to go in this morning. This is a new recipe. I've never tried it. I made it up. I just kind of mix everything together and, you know, get a little sample of it. Obviously, I don't not right in it, because I know I send this out to y'all. But anyway, and just sample as you go, and I've gotten pretty good at it, I'd like to think. This one shouldn't be as hot as some of the other recipes I've made, so we'll see how it turns out. Okay, see you in a minute. Alright, well, I was waiting on the jerky to be dehydrating. I slipped on out to the garden and I found some more victims for the dehydrator. See if I can seeing what you're seeing here. Look at there, boys. Okay, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Obviously the cucumbers don't go on there. We eat those fresh. These tomatoes aren't quite red yet, but I like to pull them off a little early. Just a little early so the bugs don't end up eating them. So I like wait for them to kind of turn red. Got the first habaneros of the year. Hope y'all can see it. First habaneros of the year. I found one out there with a bug in it. What kind of bug eats a 350,000 Scoville unit pepper? Wow. I got these little banana pepper guys, which these are supposed to be the sweeter kind. We'll see how that goes. Sometimes they cross-pollinate. Got some jalapenos coming in, so that's always good. I don't know if you can see it. Jalapenos. My hands are still red from doing those anchos. This is a good sample here of what the cayennes look like when they're ready. This way, I guess. They get a nice red color, and that's when they're ripe. And I've just been trying to kind of pull them off the plants because it's fairly early in the season, so that the plant isn't trying to take care of the peppers as much as it's trying to take care of itself. So later on, I'll let them be on the plant until they get more like an orangey or like this brown color, because it'll go to like this color here, and then it will go to the red. So you see there's a few of them in here that was getting to that color range. And yeah, so generally that's what I do when I make my jerky stuffs, is I dehydrate them and then grind them up and separate them a bit, or sometimes I'll mix them together, just whichever way. But this is as of 6/17? Oh no, it's not either. It's the 14th. And oh yeah, a quick reminder for the brew end of this. I know I'm kind of mixing these up, aren't I? For the brew end of this, Farmer's Almanac says Thursday and Friday of this week is days to brew beer. Days to brew beer. So be sure to incorporate a brew day on one of those days, and they say it's supposed to work out better. You'll have your best luck if you do it on those days. Yeah. Try not to mix up the Tipsy Sprouts and the and the Drunken One thing, you know, the whole brew thing together. But so anyway, yeah, I was working on dehydrator with the dehydrator, and so these, like I said, will be the next victims on there, so that they don't get all mushy. Because what happens is, like this one was picked a few days earlier, it'll start to get a little mushy, and you don't want it like that. I don't know if you can see that at all. The light's changed again. Anyway, so yeah, it'll get done. I just need to go on and do them pretty quick. So most of these were what I found today, but habaneros, and they'll get that same red color, the orange and then red, and then they're ripe and they're a little different flavored, a little sweeter than hot. All right, guys. Yeah, we're still doing the jerky thing. I don't know. You might even be able to hear it in the background back there whizzing. Whizzing. Oh yeah, and I got like kids watching my Tipsy Sprouts, so I have to really mind my manners now. Okay. Yeah, jerky. Oh, jerky. Right. It is. We started these at 8:45 this morning, and it is now 11:10, and so we're gonna give them a little peek. I didn't cook them here. I hadn't been cooking them here. I cooked them over in a different spot. Of course, it's just about the time I do this. The flies are coming around. Okay, so you can see what's happening. So yeah, it's been on just over 2 hours and 10 minutes or so. And hey, by golly, look at that. Boy, I open it up, there comes one. So now, they're still a little bit rubbery. Yeah, you can see what I'm saying? They're still just a little bit rubbery, so all I'm going to do really is just flip them over and then let them rock for a couple more hours. Now see, this is a bad example because there's one piece in there that was about 3 times the thickness that it should have been, so I just made little smaller slices of it, trying to work with it. That's why these little ones are up on the top. So I figured if I cut them really small, that maybe they dry out faster. But now see, these are getting they're still a bit rubbery, and you don't want that. You want them to be fully cooked. But that's where we're at after 2 hours. So without boring you, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the second layer. So here they're getting crispy looking, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and flip them all over, and I'll show you what's going on here in a couple more hours, and we'll give them a little sample. Yeah. I can probably review jerky better than beer. We'll see. Alright. I'll be ready for a piece of jerky here in a little bit. pretty warm out today, so just help spice it all up even more, right? Okay, catch up with you in a couple more hours. All the Yankees and foreigners. It's warmed up around here in Tejas and old Texas. It says 91. I did the conversion. It's almost 33 degrees Celsius. If that helps y'all figure it out. It's getting warm over here already. Happy Flag Day if you're in the U.S. and I don't exactly know the whole background story to that. So happy Flag Day. And of course, I was trying to get some pictures of the old flag, but then it's really still out. Good thing I had some old pictures on my computer. You'll probably be seeing a video coming up before this one. Anyway, here we are. Everything looks really good. It is now, it ended up sitting on there 5 hours. We started it at, it's 2:30 now. We started at 8:45, so it ended up all being almost 5 hours. All of them look good with the exception of these little fat ones, and they didn't. So I've already kind of peeked at them before I started the camera, just to see if they were ready yet. They are, hopefully you can hear that. They're solid, like crunchy. You don't want them to bend, you want them more to break than bend. So they're not, you don't want them like breaking necessarily, but you don't want them bendy, and they're tough to get apart. So that's done. Those are done. I don't know if you can see what I'm showing you here, but they're a bit leathery, and that's what you're looking for. So layer after layer, they're all the same, and they're all nice and firm. So they are a done deal. So now I just let them sit in here to cool off. They have been going outside because of the hot air has been coming through them. I hadn't worried about like flies and stuff trying to get in there, but I'm gonna take them inside just to where they can kind of just cool off inside. And then once they get all the way cool, because you don't want to put them into any kind of bag or anything before so, because it will generate moisture because they're warm. So just let them sit a bit. I will find these big chunky pieces here, and those will be a little snack after lunch, and the rest are good to go. But these are just, yeah, they're still a little mushy yet, and no sense in keeping the whole dehydrator going for just these few little bits. But I'm gonna let it cool off and go from there. Alright guys, that's how you do jerky in Texas, or in California, or wherever you might live. So anyway, that's my Homebrew Wednesday thing, I guess. I didn't drink a beer on camera, did I? I've had a couple since then. Alright, I'm back. Can't do a Homebrew Wednesday without a homebrew, because I didn't really do much about beer, did I? We made jerky today. Anyway, yes, y'all know it's about by now, I'm sure. My old favorite. Remember, tomorrow and the next day are brew days. I'm going to gather my stuff tomorrow to Brew Friday. Cheers. I mean, hush, hush, hush. Oh, the wind's blowing now. There's the can of smoke. Whoa, it's fast blowing away. Alright, S is for stout. Or super sport. Or, yeah. Okay, here we go. That's not a stout glass, it's just a glass. Alright, get a little pour in, nice and easy. Get a little height there at the last, just to make it look, oh, I couldn't even see in the camera. I don't know if y'all got that or not. There it is there, boys. It's, of course you can't see through it. Seems like I do one of these a video. I don't know, I need to get some more going. I was actually in yesterday, and go on. I got sidetracked. Oh yeah, I was in yesterday and looking through my collection selection and realized, oh man, I got a lot more beer than I thought I did. So life is good. Yeah, there's still some more of the IPAs. I think these are getting down to the last of the stouts. I think there's another 6-pack. And there's a few more of the first version lagers, and I have a bunch of the second version lagers. So hey, life is good at Sofa King Brewing. They're still brewing there. Woohoo! Alright, cheers. Thanks for coming by. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Happy Flag Day. Yeah. This stuff is so yummy. I can just feel it putting weight on me. When I started this whole brewing thing, I was about 8 pounds lighter, you know? I don't know if it's poor eating or too many of these yummy beers, but yeah, maybe I need to find some more salads. Alright guys, let me get out of here. I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you so much for coming by. Y'all be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All three are just as equally important. Like, lets my stats know that, hey, people are liking it. Comment, hey, I did comments, and I got to looking through my comment selection thing on the analysis, whatever they call it. Those are all up, and my view times have been more. I do sincerely thank you all for coming by, and be sure to do those wonderful following things. Those things pre-mentioned. Yeah. Adios, guys. I got to go.